Alright, I am back with another Destiny 2 video, and this is one I probably would have made yesterday were it not for the multi-hour delay of the launch of week 2 of Echoes here. And, you know, I've played since then, since it came back online, and I can give some thoughts about how the season is progressing, what changed this week. I'm not really seeing anything to change my opinion of Echoes as of yet. It still feels just very much like a normal season. You know, we have our weekly story progression. This time it was, you know, go to this location, find 3 things for failsafe. The difference this time is that we run the new Exodus Crash Strike, but then we just do another breach, whatever, and then we talk to failsafe, and it's wait till next week. There was no, as far as I know, there's no other like secret running timed mission thing. Again, maybe that's the only one that you were supposed to run for Pinnacle or whatever. We did get to experience the new Exodus Crash, which I think is pretty good, honestly. I have not really loved the revamp of the other strikes they've done, like of Shadows and Arms Dealer. Are those the only 2? They just did a lot of stuff that put up sort of gating to make you unable to just sort of speed through those. And I don't find that terribly enjoyable. It just seems like delays for delays' sake, and like boss health gating and all this stuff. Whereas Exodus Crash, which used to be one of the most hated strikes in the game, they haven't really done any of that. You know, there's still the part where you stand on the plate with Ghost for a while, but I feel like that goes faster than it used to. One thing they have done is taken away a lot of those floor electrocuting explosive shanks and replace them with stasis Duskfield shanks, which I think that's pretty creative. I saw them and I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat actually. Like, they're mildly annoying, but they're not like a disaster, and I think they're kind of an interesting enemy type in a way that I find them less annoying than the floor electricity guys. There are some of those still, but the final boss room, for instance, is sort of a mix of the Duskfield guys who have an AoE around them, and it's not that big, and then the floor guys. They've changed some things pretty significantly. You don't have to collect the little beams of light in any section anymore. There's a tiny, delay in the one main collecting light area, the second one, where you have to like get 2 orbs and get a scorch cannon and hold the trigger down to open the gate, which took a little while to figure out that was that mechanic again. That goes pretty fast, and then the boss fight is way better. Like, it's the same thing. He's invisible, whatever, but rather than having like these freaking 4 phases of like him going invisible, and like, they even nerfed that and it was still bad. And then the electric guys everywhere. It's much more streamlined than that, where you kill half his health bar, he goes invisible, and then you just have to dunk one orb after you kill a yellow bar, and then he will go uninvisible, and then you just burn him down again. Granted that this is, just playing it on normal, because that's what the mission demands, and I'm sure that this can get more difficult on higher levels, especially the boss room, where there's, not that much cover and whatever, but they didn't slow down the strike. Honestly, I think it's faster than before based on the changes, so I think that is positive changes. I think they absorbed feedback from that. Yeah, otherwise I'm not really seeing anything here that's blowing me away. The storyline is still just like, yeah, the Vex sure are doing something weird, and maybe they took control of that thing that fell down, and it's like, yeah, duh. And then we know that, this person dressed like a wyvern is coming as like the big bad, and we're sort of just sitting around waiting for them to appear, and these weekly story beats are not really doing much other than like Saint Osiris bantering with Failsafe and Failsafe flirting with us to an increasing degree week to week. That's fun. And then the mission itself, the breach override, is that what it's called? Changed a little bit. It's better this week because Failsafe is no longer spawning those annoying relics where they overlap the data thing. They're just spawning heavy ammo, which is much more useful. It can pretty much, you can kind of use your heavy as a primary, given how often you can spawn heavy ammo. And so that's better. The third boss that they unlocked is also better. We had 2 bosses last week, and then we have all 3 as options this week. I think it's the best boss because it's not an annoying tormentor chasing you around a dark room with 10 million health, nor is it you getting hammered by hydras in a wide open space. It is just a minotaur with kind of moving wall shields of death, but they're not that hard to avoid, even though if you watch this video, you will see me die. It's a better boss fight, I would say, and so I think the activity's been improved. There are more people stopping to try and collect the Radiolorian elements. Even if you don't get a piston hammer done, you realize that they do just sort of spawn those randomly in between places, and if you have combo detector on, if you can like look down your sights a little bit, you can see 4 or 5 of those at least in between sections and get those before your idiot partners do joining allies. And in this video, you have one of those idiot partners doing joining allies. So, no offense, idiot partner, but just please stop. Let this be a lesson to you. I get pretty frustrated with this because they waste one of my piston charges. Other than that, I'm getting red borders just dumped on me. I have 5 of the 6 seasonal weapons crafted already. Like, I haven't been going like that nuts with seasonal content. I certainly played more Final Shape and Overthrow stuff than I ever did, this stuff in the last 8 days here. So they are just raining red bars on you, which is fine, I guess. I don't want to go into a whole thing about crafting again, but, it's not going to be that much of a grind to get these. There are more weapons that are time-gated, and, like, it feels like time gating is sort of the name of the game here in terms of episodes. Maybe it'll be better if there's more activities, more story missions. But like it seems like they're just gating a bunch of weapons. Be like, oh, you can't get perfect paradox yet, or you can't get the, Vex trace rifle or whatever. Like, and it just you gotta wait a month or whatever. And I'm about. Because I was grinding Final Shape so hard, like I'm about to reach, level 100 in the season pass, and I think you just stop. I think you start getting bright engrams after that, and you cannot progress the second part of the battle pass for Act 2 or Act 3. You have to wait, I'm pretty sure. So that's sort of annoying. I don't know, this just seems like sort of an extended time gate, except maybe there's more interesting stuff that happens a month from now and then another month from now or whatever. Again, it's only week 2. I just haven't seen anything where I'm like, oh yeah, episodes are really shaking things up. It seems very similar, except with more time gating and I guess more stuff. 10 weapons or whatever is better than 6 weapons for a season, but we also have to keep in mind we're losing a whole season here with the switch to 3 of these. So it's fine. It's a little weird to come off the high of the Final Shape and being like, oh, okay, so we're back to this again. And it's also after coming off a year of really good seasons. I mean, well, I didn't love Season of the Deep, but the last 2 before that were really good. Even Season of the Deep had some elements, like interesting kind of roguelike things that just sort of went off the deep end, no pun intended, with its Sonic the Hedgehog water segments, which are probably my least favorite thing the game has ever done. We'll see. I'm going to give them a little leeway because we know this was developed kind of alongside the Final Shape, and clearly most of the resources were going toward that. Also, it is early, and these changes based on the episodic model may happen further down the line. In a month from now, maybe we'll be like, oh wow, it's rejuvenating. They did something so cool in a month. But right now, it seems like the kind of usual killing time thing, except I'm pretty much almost done grinding because I have all these existing weapons crafted already. I guess I can go for more random breach light, whatever saint weapon rolls, since those can't be crafted. Yeah, so things are going fine. It's just a little odd to be sort of muted after how good the Final Shape was, but we'll see. Let me know what you think of this season/episode so far. I feel like I'm just going to keep calling them seasons. What's the point? But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.